Hello, how you all doing? You all right? Please can you put your hand up and tell your teacher something really cool that's happened to you in the last 12 hours? So while you've been at school, ideally, or maybe just before school, not yesterday. Something really good. Go. I'm going to share with you, let's see, what shall I share? Before I came to school, I put my bike on my car ready for a bike ride after school. That was what I did, and I'm looking forward to it. So I've got something that's before, that's in the past, and that's going to happen in the future. There you go. That's something good for me. It's always good to stop and take notice of the things that are good that are around you. And actually, something else that's really good that's happened is I stopped and I've taken notice. That's really good. I'm pleased with myself that I've stopped and thought, you know what, it's a really lovely day. That's a nice feeling. So there we go. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to carry on with our idea in assembly of staying safe, because that's really important in school. And in assembly earlier in the week, we talked about this. We talked about how we stay safe in school, how we know that everybody in school, all our adults, think that our mental health and well-being is important. If you're worried, if you're sad, if you're cross, if you're upset, and you can talk to any of the adults in school, but particularly me, Mr. Bounds, or Miss Bowden Monroe, because we're the safeguarding leaders and we'll help out. We know that our school is a safe environment. It's a safe place for you to be, and that everybody here shows respect to adults and children. And we talked about that just the other day when you guys were coming in from lunchtime. I stopped everybody from going in and said, you know, well done, because I saw people saying thank you. Well done, because I saw people stopping to let adults through the door. All of those sorts of things about showing respect. So I'm going to read you a story now, and we're going to think about staying safe, and we're going to see how this applies to staying safe. Okay, so let's find my book, and I'm going to turn to the front of my book and share this tab. Okay, The Huge Bag of Worries by Virginia Ironside, and illustrations by Frank Rogers. The Huge Bag of Worries. Now, I'm sharing a book because it's a good story, because at Wincham we love a good book. Absolutely love a good story at Wincham, and I love reading stories. It's one of my favorite things to do as a teacher, but also because there's a really good message in this book, and we're going to have a look at what that message is as we go through the story. So, The Huge Bag of Worries. Okay. Come on, computer, catch up with me. Jenny had always been happy. She had a lovely mum and dad, a great brother, well, kind of most of the time. And she had a best friend at school, and she liked a teacher. And then, of course, there was Loftus. I think that's Loftus. But recently she'd been getting gloomier and gloomier. Gloomy is a good word to use to describe how you feel. It wasn't just one thing, it was everything. She was worried she was getting too fat. She was worried Loftus had fleas. She was worried her best friend was going away. She was worried that she was getting bad marks at school, and she thought she heard someone whispering about her in the playground. She worried when her mum and dad had an argument. She even worried about wars and bombs, until one day she woke to find a huge bag of worries. There it is. There's all the little worries. The bag followed her everywhere, to school, to swimming, to the toilet, and it stuck by her even when she was watching TV. So all those worries stayed with her wherever she went. She tried ignoring it, but it didn't work. Left the bag in the corner, and it jumped on top of her. She tried throwing the bag away, but it always came back. She tried to lock it out, but it came through, up the drain pipe, through the window. And when she got back to her bedroom, there it was, waiting for her. It was like a horrible shadow she couldn't get rid of. She asked her brother for help, but he was busy with his computer game, and all he said was, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any worries." And after that, she didn't feel like asking anyone else. She knew she'd only feel stupid. Just have a close look at that picture. Does her brother have any worries, do you think? I wonder what's under the bed, if he's got something in his bag under the bed. I wonder if he's really not got any worries. I wonder if your teacher is old enough to know what these blue things on the desk are. Mum would probably say, "You've got no worries that I can see. You're a lucky girl. You've got your health, your friends, your family. What more do you want?" So she decided not to tell her. So she's talked to her brother, talked to Mum, and maybe they've tried their best in their own way, but they've not really listened, have they? And how has it made her feel? Put your hand up and share that idea about how it's made her feel. Yeah, I'd be kind of worn down by it all. Dad might know what to do, but then she thought again. No, Dad had enough worries of his own. She couldn't ask him. Dad went out to work and had to do all that paperwork. Every day things got worse. The bag got bigger and bigger. All the worries inside the bag. And bigger still. She couldn't sleep at night because it kept tossing and turning beside her all night long. And to make matters worse, the bag dragged around her feet so much when she was walking to school that she was late and the teacher was cross. Jenny couldn't tell her what had happened, and anyway, she knew what she would say. "Well, you've got too many worries. In future, leave that bag at home." But it's a difficult thing to leave your worries. If somebody says to you, "Stop worrying," you can't do it, can you? I'm going to try an experiment with you, okay? Whatever you do, don't think about a pink elephant now. Okay, you ready? For the next 5 seconds, do not think about a pink elephant. Okay, do not picture a pink elephant in your head. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your hand up if you were thinking about a pink elephant, because you can't not, can you? If somebody says, "Don't think about it." So actually saying, "Just don't worry," isn't going to help. We need to learn how not to worry. When Jenny told her best friend about the bag, she suggested Jenny locked it up in a cupboard and then tried not to think about it. Well, there you go. "Well, that's what I do," she said. But it just didn't work as the bag got out and escaped. Even Loftus couldn't help. He tried his best and barked like mad, but the bag stood its ground. Oh dear, poor Loftus. One morning, Jenny woke up, got dressed and walked down the road. She'd had enough. The tears started rolling down her cheeks. She sat on a garden wall and put her head in her hands, and she thought she'd have to live with the bag forever. Oh, that's not good, is it? It's really sad. Then she heard a voice, and looking up, she saw the kindly face of the old lady who lived next door. "Goodness," said the old lady, "what on earth is that huge bag of worries?" Through her tears, Jenny explained how it had followed her for weeks and got bigger and bigger and just wouldn't go away. "Now let's just open it up and see what's inside," said the old lady. But Jenny said she couldn't. If she opened the bag, the worries might jump out, and who knew what might happen then? "Nonsense," said the old lady firmly. "There's nothing a worry hates more than being seen. If you have any worries, however small, the secret is to let them out slowly, one by one, and show them to someone else. They'll soon go away." So Jenny opened the bag. The old lady sorted the worries into groups. Jenny was astonished to see how small they looked when they were out in the open. Half the worries disappeared because lots of worries just hate the light of day. So sometimes you worry about things at night, and it's harder to stop worrying about things at night because the part of your brain that does all the thinking for you is kind of sleepy. So the other part of your brain that does all of the emotions and the way you feel takes over, and that's when the worry starts to happen. But in the daytime, when the thinking part of the brain is awake, it can get rid of the worries for you. As for the rest, the old lady put some in a shopping basket to deal with herself. And some she sent packing because she said they belonged to other people. So, as an example of a worry that belongs to someone else, you might worry, oh, I'm going to get all my work wrong in school. And that's not your worry. That's your teacher's worry. And that's why they help you. So if you're worried you're going to get all of your work wrong in school, you put your hand up and say, Mr. Babington, how do I do this bit? Mrs. Blades, can you help me do this? That's your teacher's jobs. If you don't understand, it's not your problem, it's theirs. And they'll help. All you need to do is say, and be absolutely certain, I've tried my best, but I need a bit of help. And that's okay. Some of these problems are mums and dads. I'm worried, what am I going to have for tea tonight? It's not your problem. You're not going to cook it. Mum and dad will sort it out for you. Some she just blew a kiss to, and some she said the worries that everyone had, even Jenny's family, her friends, and her teacher. We all worry about some things, and that's normal. That's okay. And as for the bag, it got thrown away. And then Jenny seemed to be an awful lot happier. Now, there's some more books here by the same people, same company that wrote The Huge Bag of Worries. But the thing is that with this bag of worries, what Jenny did was she told somebody and they talked about the worries. So Jenny and the old lady talked about the worries. Now, when we go back to this, we know that you guys can talk to anybody in school and we will help. And sometimes they are somebody else's worries. So we can help those worries to be someone else's. If something is happening at home that you're not happy about, then we can talk. Somebody in school can talk to mum or dad or someone at home, and we can help to sort things out for you because it's not for you to do. So all of us in school know that mental health and well-being is really important, and we will help you if you're feeling worried about something. Come and talk to somebody. So there you go, chaps. That is our assembly. And we're done for the end of the assembly. So I hope you've enjoyed the story. I really love that one. And I'm looking forward to reading your story again next week, just because stories are really, really good. And it's a really good fun thing to do. I hope you have a lovely, lovely rest of the day, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.